Welcome back to my channel, and my name remains Tinna Kash. And you know what we do here? We always demonstrate how to apply for various Canadian visa, the step-by-step process. Today, you're right, I'm going to be demonstrating how to put in the application for your parents, your grandparents, super visa. I know. And should you want your parents to come and support you, or your grandparents in Canada to come and support you while you work so you can have seamless integration, you can consider applying for visitor's visa, in which case the Canadian process will always give you the number of years available still valid on your passport. However, you would be unable to stay more than 6 months at a stretch in Canada. Should your parent or grandparent want to stay more than 6 months in Canada, you will have to keep extending their visa. And there's also an alternative, which is the super visa. For super visa, prior to 2022, your parent can stay for a stretch or a period of 2 years at a stretch without having to go back or come in, or you applying for an extension. However, after 2022 July, this was extended to 5 years. I know, it's amazing because you can have that integration easily. You can easily integrate into the system because you have that support. I can tell you for free, that support in Canada, it can never be overemphasized. Literally, should you have family, you have kids, you need the support system. You don't want to pay that huge amount trying to get the daycare or before and after care program, which we all know that irrespective of the fact that you might have access to this or you're able to afford it, it still does not really go as much as it still does not give you that comfort as much as you're having your parents or your grandparents around supporting you, raising your kids while you chase the money you came to Canada to look for. I know that's just on a lighter note. A lot of people prefer to explore the option of applying for super visa, and super visa guarantees their parents to be able to stay for 5 years at a stretch without having to apply for extension or what have you, for them to have a stay in Canada. For some, they even have to travel out and come back into Canada at the stretch of their 6 months. To avoid all those haggle, all the stress, you just need to put in your visitors. You just need to put in your super visa application. Without taking much of our time, we're going to get started shortly. But I will always solicit for the likes, for the share, for the subscribe. Please do well to like this channel, to subscribe, hit the notification button, so whenever I drop my videos, you'll be one of the first to be notified. Yes. So without taking much of our time, let's get started into demonstrating how to apply for super visa for your parents and grandparents. Thank you. To begin, we're just going to sign into our demonstration account. We know we have a demonstration account we usually use. And for this particular visa demonstration I've been doing on this channel, to begin, we're going to go into the Canadian government site, cic.gc.ca. We'll go here. It's going to bring us to a landing page as this. So we're going to click on the English version. And once we click on the English version, kindly scroll down. So you'll see visits. We're going to click on visits. There are a lot of things you can do here. Do you want to apply for your citizenship, other application, work permits, new immigrant? Like Canada site is so robust that you're able to get almost everything you're applying for on their site. This is why I try to promote a do-it-yourself process where you're able to go over the information provided by the Canadian government and put in your application yourself. Kindly go to CIC, Government of Canada site, then come down here and click on visit. So you're going to click on visit. It's going to bring us down here, and you scroll down to look for which kind of visit visa do you want to apply for. Is it apply for visitor's visa for worker students? A whole lot of information is right here that you can take advantage of. And once it brings us to this page, you have, if you want to apply for a visitor's visa, if you want to visit your children or grandchildren, who is eligible? So this is for super visa. You can see, say, who is eligible now and how to apply for a super visa. that lets you stay with family in Canada for 5 years at a time. You're going to click on this particular one. This is super visa for your parents and your grandparents. It allows you to stay for 5 years time with a super visa. It provides multiple entry for a period of up to 10 years. We all know Canada can be so generous that they can grant you a visa should you have 10-year validity on your passport. This is one of the countries that is so generous with visa. It is important that you also take your time to go over this. The fee you're going to be paying is 100 Canadian dollars. And you can click here to check for the processing time to see how long it's going to take. Usually, the same period here with your visit visa. I have a lot of cases where actually got the same processing time as that of their visit visa. What is super visa? Who can apply for super visa? How to apply for super visa? After you apply, what should you do? These are all the information that you can take advantage of. You can read up on this and you're able to apply for your visitors and for your super visa to Canada. How long you can stay in Canada if you apply on or before this day, what you're going to be getting and on or before that day. Get answers to your questions, and you can come here to who can apply for visit or super visa. You get the eligibility requirements for applying for super visa. To be eligible for super visa, you must have a host who is your child or grandchild. Please do take note that it has to be your child or your grandchild, and this said person has to be a citizen, a permanent resident, or registered Indian who must provide a copy of one of the following. It is important to know that the documentation your child or your grandchild is filing for super visa for you is one of this information: the Canadian citizenship document, a permanent resident document, a secure certificate of Indian status or certificate of Indian status. And the person should be above 18 years, at least 18 years, and lives in Canada. Most importantly, I think this is major questions that a lot of people tend to ask me, is to meet the income threshold. There's an income threshold that whoever is applying for a super visa for you should have. You must meet the eligible, and it's also important that this said person has to send you an invitation letter. The invitation letter has to include a promise of financial support for the duration of your stay. Your child or your grandchild or common law partner can co-sign the letter if they are a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. The list includes name, date of birth, the number of people included when you calculate your family size is determined, but to determine the minimum income. So if we click here, we are going to be able to see what is the income, the minimum income that you should have in a family for you to be able to apply for super visa for your parents or your grandparents. Here's it, the minimum necessary income requirement. You must provide proof that your host or child, your grandchild meets the minimum income requirement. Your host or child or grandchild's spouse or common law partner may co-sign the letter of invitation and provide proof of income. This simply means that they go out, you can provide family income. Let's say, based on your family size, your child is unable to invite you using their own income alone. Their spouse or common law partner can also co-sign this information to be able to be eligible to invite you as on a super visa. The table documents include the last notice of assessment issued by this CRA. You can also issue your T4 or T1 for the last tax year, pay stubs for the most recent 12-month period available, employment insurance benefit statement, a letter from an accountant confirming the annual income if self-employed, proof of other source of income, for example, pension statement, letter for the employer stating the job title, description, salary, bank statement. Should we come here to know what is the minimum amount that a family should have? Should you want to invite your parents, your grandparents to apply for super visa? You can click here to see the minimum income requirement. This is updated as at June 3rd, 2024. So should you be one person wanting to invite your parent? So meaning if you're inviting your parent plus you, that means you guys are two. So you need to provide that means your family of two. You need to have a family income of 36,000 to be able to invite your parents. So let's assume you have a family of five and you want to invite your parents on a super visa. So meaning you're already on a family of five and you want to invite your parents and both of them. That means family of seven. So you need to have a family income of $77,750 for you to be eligible to invite your family member. So there's also, if more than seven people for each additional family member, add $7,916 for you to be eligible. So good thing here is that should you not be making so much, so you're not making up to $77,750 annually, you can have a combined income from your spouse, and your spouse can co-sign the invitation letter stating the financial obligation that they are going to be committed to supporting your parent while they stay in Canada for the period of 5 years. Yes, you can say super visa is so easy, right? Yeah, the same process with that of visitor's visa. So you must also be outside Canada when you submit your bid. Like, I literally have a lot of people that are inside Canada and they did this. So you must have, however, you must have a valid visa while in Canada. Have your visa printed by a visa officer outside Canada with a visa office instruction. And so these are just some of the information. Please do well to read them. Now, one of the most important requirements also is you having health insurance coverage. Yes. This is even an opportunity to also tell everyone that I am a licensed financial advisor in Canada. So I provide financial services. Should you need any form of insurance coverage in Canada, I'm your go-to person. I am contracted to some of the best insurance company in Canada, and I'll be able to run you a quote. You get your insurance for your parents or grandparents. Should you need life insurance as well, I'm your go-to person. You want to set up RASP for your kids. You want to set up RRSP for yourself, your TFSC account. Please do well to contact me. We can proceed. You must have health insurance for your parents. This is the requirement for the health insurance. You must have a proof of health insurance policy from either a Canadian insurance company or an insurance company outside Canada that is approved by the Minister of Immigration and Refugee. Please just reach out to me. I'll do that for you. Yes, just do that with any immigration company in Canada. And it must be for a minimum of 1 year for the date of entry. You necessarily do not need to have an insurance quote that is effective the date of submission. You can run a quote that is effective on the assumed date, like the date you're expecting your grandparents to be in Canada. So you can run a quote, be paid in full or in installment with a deposit. Quotes aren't accepted, yes. Whenever I run a quote for super visa like this, you have option because it's expensive. You're running for a minimum of 100,000 coverage. So you have option of paying one-off. You also have option paying instrumentally. The good thing is that they've allowed you to pay part of the instrumental. This is what is accepted, that you have paid part of the installments for the insurance coverage. Quote is not accepted. You can see. And it is an important requirement for your super visa. Please do well to go through all this. As a super visa holder, you should have a valid health insurance policy while in Canada. If your health insurance will expire before you leave Canada, you may need to renew or maintain your health insurance during your stay. Private health insurance must be valid for each entry to Canada. These are just some of the required information that you need to know. And every other information remains the same as you applying for your visitor's visa, with the exception of all this stated above. And once you're done with this, let's come to next how to. I literally do not want this video to be long, but hey, it is getting long. Please do well to read all this. Get your documents ready, letter of invitation from your child, which is also very important and compulsory. How to calculate the documents we accept, proof of health, all these are for your reach. Now, we are going to sign into the IRCC portal. Should you not have one portal, you can create one. And if you already have one existing, especially for those of us that have applied for visitor's visa for our parent before, so they do have a portal, and you can use that. For the sake of this video, I'm going to assume I do not have the IRCC portal account, and I usually have for my previous video, but that was not with my demos sign-in details. I'm just going to create one. You start by you registering to get a portal, create your IRCC portal account. So start by getting your invite code. I'll click here to get my invitation code. It will bring me here to give the email I want to use. The email I want to use is tinna@gmail.com. I'm going to repeat that, and I'm going to click here. This is going to send a code. I'm going to get the code. This is the code I'm going to use to continue to sign up for a portal. I'm putting in my code and my email, putting in my email, my password. This is the password I want to use. Yes, so what's my surname, my given name, and my telephone number is Canadian, so I'm going to use 28944000099. I just assumed the sign up. Let me save this so it's going to be easier for me. Here are my fingerprint. The verification code sent to me. I've gotten the verification code. Enter this code, and yeah, my email has been verified. The next thing is for me to sign in. I'm going to sign into my account now. Save. It's easier for me to save. So, terms and conditions, yes, I accepted. This is now my IRCC portal account, and now it's time for me to apply. What do I want to do in Canada? What do I want to do? This is just everything about the portal account. Apply to visit, study, or work in Canada as a temporary resident. So I'm just going to click here. And what sort of application do I want to apply for? So I'll acknowledge and start my application. Do you want to apply for more than one person at the same time? In this case, let me just say yes. Let me use this to demonstrate for multiple situations. Select the type of group that applies to you. It's family. Are you doing for business, official delegation, group of students, but I'm doing for family. Create name of the group, my family. Let me use this, and I'm going to save. It will bring me here. I started this on this day. I still have 60 days left. This is my family group ID, and the name of the family is my family. It automatically already populated that I have one member of the family. So if I want to add multiple members, so I'm just going to come here and click on add. Because I want to apply for super visa for my parents, I'm going to now do add for my mom and my dad. You have all this information to complete, and I'm going to click continue for the first person. What do I want to apply to visit, study, work as a temporary resident? I want to apply for visit visa or super visa. This is the one that is applicable to me. Why do you need to visit Canada? To visit my spouse or to visit my spouse or grandchildren? This is it. To visit my children or grandchildren for more than 6 months. And tell me what you want to tell us about what you will do in Canada, include dates. So you can see that should you have applied for visitor's visa before, you can see that everything is the same. I have a video on visitor's visa, and with exception of me doing a group one now and the special requirement for super visa, every other thing remained the same. Tell us more about what you will do in Canada. This is just a lighter one. This is what I want to go and do in Canada. I just want to go and support my family and their family. You can put more information as much as you want. This is just a lighter number. You want your family to be there. You have so many characters to fill up. And they say include date. I didn't include date here, so you can put that from December 2024 through to 5 years, through to 2029. December 2029 because it's 5 years. So when will you enter Canada? So let me say I'm entering December 2024. So I'm entering December 1st. Let me say I'm entering December 1st. When will you be leaving Canada? 2029. Let me say November 30th. I'll be leaving Canada November 30th. Exactly 5 years. I'm going to take advantage of it. UCIE number, if not, optional. But for those of us that have done visitors visa for our parents, they already have UCIE number. You can just add it here. Anytime you want to return to the group, you can see it says return to a group table, or you save and continue. So I'm just going to click on save and continue. So this is going to give you all this information about Super Visa, which I've explained earlier. If this isn't what you expected, check your answers again. As of July 4th, 2022, a Super Visa lets parents or grandparents of Canadian citizen or permanent resident of Canada visit up to 5 years at a time. It's a multiple entry visa that provides entry for a period up to 10 years. So these are the specific requirements. There are specific requirements you need to meet for Super Visa. Apply from outside Canada, be the parent or grandparent of this, a signed letter from your child or grandchild who invites you, your insurance, and these are just the specific requirements. You need this. Documents you will need to complete. You need to complete a valid document you will need in order to complete this application. Your passport, you must have at least one free page and stuff like this. Please do well to read it. Information you need to enter. You need to enter your personal details, your travel details, finances, basic standard for any visa application. Representative. Are you applying on behalf of someone else? Is your parent the one applying themselves, or you are the one applying for them? So for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to put that I, Tina, I'm applying for my parents. Yes, I don't want to leave this in your hands, you know? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be the representatives. So the representative can be paid or unpaid. When you appoint a representative, you may also authorize IRCC to share information from your case file with this person. Who are you? Who are you in relation to the person you are helping? So family member. So these are the option: friends or others with family member. Information about the representative. So my surname is Tinna Kash, and my given name is Tinna. And telephone number. Let me say cell number, Canada number, 289-440. What did I use? I don't recall. So my mailing address. The mailing address is in Canada. Let me find my address. So I'm going to use, I live in Hamilton, so let me use 122. So I'm just going to use any of these. I just searched for any address. This, Parkville. Did I use Parkville, BC? No, I'm not in BC. So let me use 122 West, something similar. I'm using this address for the sake of this video. I don't know the address, so don't come looking for me. My email is tinakash@gmail.com, and confirm email demo. And it's every point you can always return to your application. So save and continue. Let me say I've put in information for the representative. I've put travel document information of the applicant. Let me start with my dad. Let me say I'm doing this for my dad. Surname, grandpa, given name, something like this. And date of birth, 1960, 1st October. He's a male. And I'm going to proceed. Passport, yes, he has a passport. He has a regular passport. Select the country, very much Nigeria passport. And nationality, Nigeria. What's your passport or travel document number? Let me use B005589, whatever. And this, confirm, B00558975. And date of issue. Let me say this passport was issued on 1st of January 2023, and it's going to expire 31st December. Let me use 2029. Let me use 2029. Let me use 2033. Yeah, let me use this. So, no, 2032. Let me use this. And are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States? No. Have you held a Canadian visitor's visa in the past 10 years? Let me say yes. Because yes, my dad has held one. So, do you currently hold a valid US non-immigrant visa? No. Are you traveling to Canada by air? Yes. And save and continue. Citizenship and place where the applicant has lived. So he has only lived in Nigeria and is a citizen of Nigeria. City. So are you a citizen of more than one country? No. Which country authority are you citizen of? Nigeria. And it is since from birth. So I do not have the year in which I became citizen other than since I was born. National documents. I have, for my visitor's visa, I have used this, but for this demonstration, I'm just going to say no. So less information to upload. And I'll say next. Have you used another name in the past? No. And if you've used, so you just click on yes, and you add the name you've used in the past. But I'm going to say no. Proceed. Countries or territory of residence. I'm going to say Nigeria. Nigeria. This is the address where you currently live. Street. Let me say 35 Abuja. Is your mailing address same as your residential address? Yes. If it's different, please do your state. Countries or territories of residence. So list your country, list your current country or territory of residence. Then add all other countries or territory where you've lived for the past 5 years for more than 6 months. So should I be doing this for my mom? I will have to list Canada as part of it because she stayed almost 2 years in Canada. So I'm going to have to do this. Anywhere your parents have lived for more than 6 months in the last 5 years, then you have to put this. Because I'm doing it for my dad, he just had like 1 week to be in 6 months in Canada before he left. So I do not need to put this for him. So I'm just going to say next, save and continue. It's only my home country. So I'm just going to put only Nigeria. So I'm a citizen of this country. I lived more than 6 months in this country. From what year? From birth. God, what is my birth year? I think I used 1960. I used October 1st. Yes. You see, one of the reasons why you should always do something you will remember. This is where I currently live, so I do not have expiry. And I'm going to save this. If you have other place, you can put it. You came in as a visitor and all this information. Biometrics and photo. Do you already have your fingerprint and photo biometrics, and are they still valid? So if you said no, you're going to be paying additional $85 for one person. But because I'm doing group, that'll be $170 to take a group biometrics. So do you want to give your biometrics? Should you think, oh, I want to give it again because it will soon expire? And this is also important because your biometrics has a 10-year validity. Now, this is it. Let's say you took your biometrics 5 years ago, and now you have a 10-year passport. Technically, they're going to give you a 10-year visa. But should your biometrics expiring in 5 years or in 3 years, your super visa will be approved based on the validity of your biometrics. So they look at the validity of your passports or biometrics, whichever come earlier. So please do not forget that you've taken biometrics before and it's closer than the validity on your passport. So should that be the case, just tell them, yes, you will want to take biometrics again. They will charge you for a new one, and you're going to have a fresh biometrics being taken, thereby extending the visa validity they are going to be able to issue to you. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to say no, but please do take notes. Next, who is inviting you? So in this case, I'll just say the name of the person inviting me this is the name of the person inviting me, the surname. So this is the surname of the person inviting me, and this is the first name. Relationship, so family member, mailing address, select a country. They're in Canada, so it has pre-selected this for me. Start typing and find your address. What's the address I used? 122 West 5th. I think I picked this first one. Was it this? No, this. This is the information of the person inviting you, and their cell number and email of the person. Tinna Kash at gmail.com. I think it's high time I copied this in case. Has someone else also invited you? And you can use yes, you can use no, depending. If you say yes, you can also impute the name of the person. Let's say you have more than one siblings in Canada and both of them are inviting you. You can do that. If one is sufficient, you can do that. I've actually done application where, yes, I had to put, you have two people inviting and it's still flyer, they were granted. It's a Canada number. Save and continue. How much money do you have for your stay in Canada? Usually when I do my parents' visa, they don't have any money. So is someone else giving you money for your stay in Canada? Yes, my wonderful daughter. Please provide details. My daughter and her spouse is supporting me with, let's say, $20,000 for my stay, covering feeding, accommodation. So covering feeding, accommodation, and any other incidental costs. And next, for secondary education, I'm not going to fill all these ones. Please put your details. Have you ever studied at a post-secondary university, college, or anything? I'll just say no. If you state yes, they're just going to put their study from what year to what year. Please, for the sake of this video, let me just say no. And work, military or police history, no. Then work history, let me just use yes, they have work history in the last 10 years. Add work history from what year? Let me say from 1980 or 1960, 1980. From 1980 January to, let's say, 2020 December. Work, let's say he works as a management occupation, job title. Should you not be able to find anything, just find a related one. I'll just use administrative supervisor. I know when I was applying for one of my parents, I had to look for a related one. Company and employer, let me see, demo, empire. And main duties, this does not really contain so much information. He oversees, supervised the team. Just put anything, he supervised the team. Address is in Nigeria. Streets, let me just use this and I'll save. And now it has one. If it has multiple, you want to disclose everywhere as well. This ended in 2020 and we are in 2024. So I'm just going to add one more and put from 2021 January, and this is ongoing. He's unemployed, and for those that are retired, see, I don't think there's an example retired or homemaker. So your parents still does petty trade, you can put homemaker, retired, streets. I'm still going to just use this and move on. I'm going to go next. During the past 5 years, have you traveled to a country or territory other than the one where you're a citizen or where you live? You can say yes. Then you list your travel history, the countries you've traveled to from the period, from one period to another period. It's going to be like this if you want to add. So from what date? Let me say you traveled to Canada 2023. Let's say it's November to 2024. Let's say April. Country, Canada, location, Ontario, and purpose, visit family. And you save. So you can see in the past 5 years, so there was a travel history. You can put that and save and continue. Travel history. Have you ever stayed in Canada beyond the validity of your status? Attended school in Canada without authorization or work? No. Have you ever been refused a visa or permit, denied entry in order to leave a country or territory? Please, if it is yes, please do well to say yes. You will give your reason. I was refused US visa. I was told I do not meet the eligibility requirements. Simple and short. For this, I'm going to put no. And these are criminality questions. Committed a crime. I've not done this. I've not done that. Not done this. And next, I'm trying to make sure I don't have this criminal record. And none of my family members. So, medical background. Have you had a medical exam performed by IRCC authorization? But for, let's say I'm putting this for my mom, she has had one in Canada, because once you're extending your stay, some officers do require that you get a medical examination done, and some might not require you to do that. So I'm going to put no for this, and Voila! In the last 2 years, were you diagnosed this? No. Are you currently receiving dialysis? No, I'm not on drugs. I do not have mental health issue. I've not been diagnosed with syphilis. And no. Family information and very much married. And date of marriage or start or common law partner. So I'm going to just use 1983, January 1st. You wonder what January 1st I'm doing to you. Name of spouse or common law partner, grandma, and date of birth. So I'm going to just use 1960. Let me use 1965. We're going to be January 1. Country, Nigeria. Present occupation. Let's say you're presently retired, or if they're selling, having petty trade, you can put what they're doing. Is your address the same? Will your spouse or common law partner accompany you to Canada? So in this case, I'm going to say yes. If they are not accompanying you, say no. And guess what? Whenever you put yes, they accompany, it's going to see for the marriage certificate. Yes. But if you say no, it's not going to require you to provide marriage certificate. So, but you won't be able to do that if it's a group application. So most times when you apply separately, it just makes it easier. And next, do you have biological adopted children? Oh, definitely, because to be eligible, your child, your grandchild, would be the one to invite you for this. So you do have one. So you're going to list all the children. So in this case, I'm just going to put only myself, Demo, Tina, date of birth. Which date should I use? 1990. Let me use 1990. January 1st. Relationship, my daughter. Country of birth, Nigeria. Does this child have the same address as you? Present country or territory, Canada. Start typing their address. 122 West with this. And if this child is not in Canada, will they accompany you to Canada? No. So this child is in Canada. And I'm just going to put only this. I'm going to say save and next. Tell us about your parents. If you were adopted, provide the details about your legal parents. Grandparents, relationship, father, birth. I was 165. 1940. Let me use 1940. We are going to be January 1. Country of birth, Nigeria. Should the parents be deceased, you can click on the check button here and you're good to go. Does this parent have the same address as you? Yes. Let's save ourselves the stress. They are living with me. I'm taking care of them. Will they go to you? Will they go with you to Canada? No. And present occupation, retired. And I'm going to save. You have to put in for your mother because it requires parents. And demo grandparents, mother. And relationship, my mother. My dad is 19. My grandparents is 1940 based on this application. Let's say 1943, January 1. Country, Nigeria. Present occupation, retired. Yes, they also have the same address with me and they're not coming with me to Canada. I'm just going to save this. And next, what is your native language? This is my native language. Can you communicate in English or French? I'll say English. Should you be both? Please do well to do that. What language do you want us to contact you with? Definitely English. Email address, should you have? You need to put in your email address. So let me just use grandparent@gmail.com and at gmail.com. This does not align. Telephone number, gosh, they do not have one. So I'm just going to use the cellular outside, yes, and save. Next. Now this is summary of application, how to review your applications. This summary of everything I put in. If I want to edit anything, all I need to click is edit and I'm able to edit any of the subheadings in which I have completed. These are all the subheadings from all the questionnaires we've been answering since. I'm just going to proceed to take me to the document checklist. So I'll come here. This is the documents checklist. It is telling me the file has to be in this format, a maximum of 2 megabytes. And these are all the information it requires me to submit. First, it wants me to submit letter of invitation. You can click here to give you details of what this letter entails. What are the key notes that should be in this letter? This is your low income cutoff. You should be able to put this. Or what your letter should have general information. Proof of income for your child or grandchild. These are requirements for the proof of income. They can have the T1, the pay stub. Like I already discussed this in the earlier section of this video. Then passport and travel document, your proof of fund, of course, definitely your child, proof of fund, and use of representative form. You can download your IMM 5476 and complete it. Proof of relationship, a marriage certificate, statutory declaration of union, birth certificate, like anything that should prove that you're related with your child, your grandchild. Marriage certificate, like I said. So for this marriage certificate, and should the parent not have it in those days, they just pay one or they just pay the bride price, and there's no actual certificate issue. So you can actually write like a note stating they do not have this. Also, put information bearing both your names, like your international passport, bearing both your names, to show that you are married under the common law and do not have a certificate for that. Medical insurance proof. I stated that we've done medicals before, so you can upload this medicals here. So it's going to ask you for the confirmation you got when you did your medicals. And if you've not done it and you checked, no, you won't have this. And should you have this, it's even asking you proof. So you won't have this if you've not checked that. And these are the optional section where you can put your employment details, your consent letter, like any other information to support your application with. Should you upload all this, you'll be able to now save and continue. You're done with this applicant. Now you're going to return to the rest of the group. So if I click on here, I'm done with that first applicant. It's still showing in progress because I've not completed it. I can now do for the second applicant. Once I'm done imputing the information for the second applicant, I can only click on yes, I confirm that I've completed. You can see because it's not full. So I can click yes, I confirm I've completed. Then you go to save and continue. You're able to get the information of your payment and you're able to submit it. Simple, right? I know. So thank you so much for watching this far. I hope you share, you like, you subscribe to this channel so I can get the visibility as well. And do not forget to share with your loved ones. Click the notification button so whenever I post any video, you'll be one of the first to see it. Yes, this is where I'm going to end the video for today, so you know how to proceed further. I think after this demonstration, every other one is for you to pay. So do have yourself a lovely evening. Thank you. Bye.